live. We're live exactly at noon, my time, 1 Dr. Gail's time. This show was originally Dr. Gail and I were going to talk about anger and how, because of my illness and things she's been through, when you walk away from being angry.
Resentment and anger.
Right. And we said, screw that. We're going to talk about fairies. Yay! And it's just a day to play. We need some playtime. And Dr. Gill said, "Yeah, I think we ought to just do the fairy thing I sent her." So I found an article where someone used her imaginations, and she said, "Just use your imagination to see what kind of different fairies you could have around you." And of course, I know there's all different kinds of fairies, but to help the uninitiated to the wild world of fairies. By the way, the fairies stole my color cards, so I was supposed to do the colors on these. Dr. Gail gets to do it because my color cards are missing. Guys, I'd like them back. But anyway, um, so we're going to do it by month, and I'm going to quickly kind of run through the months. Now, we've had some guest requests for months, so slightly out of order.
Well, I mean, we can go in order because it hits everybody.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm lined up with the colors.
And that's true. I don't. You have no idea what's. She's going. I can't. I used a red. Where can I find another red? Okay. So for the month. So this is, and this doesn't mean if these colors don't, or if these fairies don't generate to you. This is my thing. These are fairies for the seasons. This is the winter. This was the spring with the summer rain. This is the flowers in the spring, and this is the fall. You can see all the leaves falling around her. And I just had a whole lot of fun drawing fairy pictures. And then I thought about, all these fairies are terribly white. So I went and
Will you go back to that? Because I want to ask you a question about those pictures.
Sure.
Because you're talking about the seasons of each one. It almost looks like also the elements like wind, water, fire. Well, I don't see fire, but
Fire. I have one that's got fire.
Okay.
We can see one that's, but yeah, well, and this was just, I thought these were the most kind of generic fairies. But anyway, so I said, that's not fair. So we found a Native American fairy.
I love that one.
She's gorgeous. And then I put Hispanic and Asian, and that's what they came up with. But she could be
Yeah.
kind of
Anybody.
but a person with dark hair. So they got that part right. And then African American. I thought she's cute.
She's gorgeous too.
I love her little flowers in her hair.
Yeah.
And if there's another ethnicity I didn't get, I'm sorry. But this is the one that has the elements. This is fire and water and cold and stuff. But she's jumping over a fire. And I don't know if that's the jumping over the fire that they do at the summer solstice or what. But but these are the critters we're talking about. These are, if you were to create a little fairy person, what would they be like? And so do you want me to go through? I'll read a month and you can read a month.
We can, or I'm going to be reading the colors on the months.
Okay, I'll give you the colors then.
Yes.
Okay. For January, this is the fairy. This person chose Fairy of the Snowflakes. But her idea was that in January, you're cool, you're calm, collected, perfectly describes those born in January. These individuals embody the crisp winter weather, which if you're in Australia isn't true, which is why January is born aligned with fairies and snowflakes. The special fairy controls the winter wonderland that Januaries are familiar with. The Fairy of the Snowflakes has the power over winter storms ranging from biting frosts to whirling blizzards, depending on the mood. Not only does January born resonate with the fairy's wintry disposition, But January born also love the fairy's ice blue silver appearance. And these are the colors for the January fairy. And it was garnet,
And which we, here's garnet, which is red. Free yourself from pain.
mm-hmm, silver, silvery mist,
And we've got brilliance,
mm-hmm,
and it's discover your sparkle.
that's right, and midnight blue.
Oh, God. Here is blue, and it is activate your healing power.
So that's kind of how we saw those. And February is Fairy of the Wind. Of all the birth months, February's hold the most surprises. These individuals have whirlwind energy and ever changing personality. The Fairy of the Winds feels called to those born in February. Light on its feet, ever moving, this fairy has a mutable disposition, and his colors would be amethyst violet.
Okay. I've got lilac.
Mm-hmm.
It is strengthen your faith.
Mm-hmm. And do you have electric indigo? Is that the other one we picked?
Um, for February,
Yeah.
I have
You have a violet and a lilac.
I have a violet and lavender,
Okay.
and okay, and I got
Then don't worry about it because we had a couple months we couldn't find the right thing.
well, what was the other one? Tell me those colors again.
Amethyst, violet, lilac.
Okay, so we have that and amethyst. So I've got lilac and lavender, which is lilac was strengthen your faith, and lavender
Mm-hmm.
is connect your body, mind, and soul.
Oh, very good. Okay. So then March is Fairy of the Dreams. And um, maybe if we start with the colors this time, it'll be a little easier. It's the seafoam green, the light green.
Okay, it's revitalize your nervous system.
Yep. Pearl white.
It's connect to the divine,
Mm-hmm. And aqua blue.
experience peace and calm.
Yes. And March born have the otherworldly personalities. They're Pisceans for the most part. Those born in this month are highly attuned to astral travel, lucid dreaming. It's no surprise that the March born are natural seers, and that's why the Fairy of the Dreams comes to them. So their fairy is Fairy of the Dreams in her construction of where we are. April. April is Fairy of the Storms.
Oh wow. Oh, okay. That would make sense. For showers.
Yeah, crimson red.
Okay. Red is rejuvenate your body.
Mm-hmm. Golden amber.
It is awaken your creativity.
Mm-hmm. And bright white.
And I have got lighten up,
And for it says, Fairy of the Storms. April babies have a thunderous personality and a larger than life energy. Those born in this month are boisterous, excitable, and confident. They're Aries. Nothing deters Aries born from getting what they want. Their electric personality summons the Fairy of the Storms, bright and aesthetic, ecstatic. The Fairy of the Storms shares April's wavering emotionality, in like a lion, out like a lamb kind of thing. Um, April born understands how quickly the Fairy of the Storms cycles through feelings. And they are, a lot of uh, April born are kind of, they're like a thunderstorm. If you let it blow over, it'll go away. So May, my month, yay! May, flower fairy of the blossoms, and its colors are emerald green.
which is calm your mind, body, and soul.
Yeah, need to do that. Soft rose.
It is Attract a relationship.
Okay. And earthy taupe, sort of soily, dirty, that kind of
I've got brown
earthy,
established boundaries.
right? And as the old saying goes, April rains, April showers bring May flowers. Thanks to the April born, the fairies of the storms, those born in May are connected to the blossoms. And May says a special fairy only blooms during this month. The fairy of blossoms represents the renewing energy of springtime. May born will know when the fairy of the blossoms around, and it's true. I'm happiest when I've got little things growing around me. I just set up a whole new herb garden because mother one died while I was in the hospital.
But
Because
Debbie Three Shifting Veils says, "Yay, Aries are emotional storms."
they are.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we're happy when we're tending our gardens, and that's true. We're happy when we're with our blossoms. We're into June. Sunlit yellow,
Purify your body.
great. Coral pink,
And I pulled watermelon. Have fun with your inner child.
I think that's perfect for June. And sky blue,
And I put azure. Protect yourself.
yes, I love that sky scene. I think that's great. Can
This is
anyone mentally, intellectually keep up with those born in June? I have a June baby. June birthdays are beloved for their curiosity and their wit. They are gifted mercurials, and Mercury does rule their sign, which intrigues the fairies of fables. And they are the fairy of fables, and they are storytellers. Not that they're telling you stories that aren't true, but they can take anything and make it an intriguing story.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Speaking of intriguing stories, Jazz, really. Um, they're good at tongue twisters, gossip, and more. June born are drawn to this fae because the fairy of the fables promises intellectual stimulation. And they get a kick out of appreciation when you appreciate the storytelling. They really do. July, where we are. Sapphire blue.
Regenerate your body.
Okay. Silver.
I got gray. Learn to scan your body. This is all about your body.
Okay. Would be. You'll find out it's true. Warm sun sandstone.
And I pulled chocolate. Nourish your body and soul.
Well, so it's body and soul. July birthdays are fairy of the luminaries. July aligns with the sun and the moon. The sun provides the warmth and vitality, whereas the moon sustains the emotional strength. So that's your body and your soul. The unique fairy has magical energy that both the sun and the moon within aligning with July's born luminosity. July babies will feel the sprite's presence basking in the sun rays and dreaming of the moonlight. Fairy of the luminaries will help the July born harness their true potential and their star power. Now we're going into August.
Okay.
Fairy of the animals. We've got gold.
Okay, it's gold. Attract abundance.
Mm-hmm. Burnt orange.
And I've got bronze. Strengthen your body.
And vibrant jade.
Take action.
Mm-hmm. Animals of all kinds are drawn to those born in August. Individuals that are attuned to all life forms, especially the animals. August babies immediately connect and understand all animals. The high levels of empathy resonates in the fairy of the animals. Creatures of all kinds flock to this fairy, and it gives them everything they need. Sometimes similar to the Fae, the August born also provide immense relief, love, and care for those around them. But both the sprite and the August born are willing to care for any other critter. Very good. September, fairy of love.
Oh, wow.
Forest green.
Forest green. Let me look for forest green. I'm having to pick out another pile for the green. They just put, there's green, and it is revitalize your nervous system.
And Dusty Plum,
That is overcome your challenges.
that's good. And Smoky Quartz,
Smoky quartz. Um, I picked out black for that, and it's find richness in the dark night.
that's this ties perfectly with this. Is there anything more important than love? As a die-hard romantic, September born, love deeply. These individuals truly believe everyone is their soulmate. Boy, is that a task. Which fuels their desires to find their own real, one true partner. Their birthdays, this special sprite can assist September birthdays in manifesting soulmates. However, it's also possible that the September born will fall for the fairy of love and vice versa. Having romantic connections with the world around them encourages them to love humanity and love the world. That's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
October. Okay, we're going from love to sensuality here. Fairy of sensuality. And this one's dark teal,
Uh,
turquoise. Do we pick
yeah,
out?
I've got it is turquoise and it is awaken your empathy.
Okay. And blood orange.
So I got tangerine for that, and it's be spontaneous and have fun.
That's would fit with fairy of sensuality. And opalescent white. I
Opulence.
can't read my own handwriting.
All right, and here is white, and it's lighten up.
Yep. And that's no other birth month embodies the primal passions like those born in October. These individuals feel at home in their bodies. October born know exactly what they like and how they like it. Their confidence oozes a sexual appeal that the fairy of sensuality cannot resist. Of all the birth months, October has the highest probability of falling of falling for their own fairy. In other words, you guys really like your fairy. The fairy of sensuality and October born tempt one another's. Seduction is really important to these two, so you ought to be careful. Having a sexual relationship with a fae folk can be very dangerous. Word of warning here. November, fairy of the wanderlust,
Oh,
roaming heels. Okay, and it's obsidian black.
okay. We have black, which is again find richness from the dark night.
Mm-hmm. And a golden glow, which I think we came up with. The yellow came the closest we came up
Yeah,
with.
we got your lemon. Access innovative thinking.
That's all fixed with this. And a rich burgundy. There's like a glass of wine in that deck, isn't there?
Awaken your passion.
Burgundy. What's it mean?
Awaken your passion.
Okay, that fits totally with this. For those born in November, go. These individuals have adventurous spirits and beckons the fairy of the wanderlust. This sprite goes wherever the November born go. The fairy of the wanderlust has adaptable spirit and positive outlook, making them perfect travel companions. November birthdays never have to worry about or wonder about whether a trip will go well because the trip will go well because they're there. And this worldly sprite happily accepts offerings from recent trips. That means foods, drinks, trinkets, all are greatly appreciated. And then December, the fairy of the Yule. It's icy blue.
Okay, I'm gonna pull azure for that. Protect yourself.
Okay. Mulberry purple.
I have got violet, and that says create a balanced life.
Right. And silver sparkle.
Silver sparkle. I've lost my silver. There it is. No, that's pearl. That's what I got. Connect to the divine.
Okay. And merriment is around the corner, and the December born eagerly look forward to celebrating their birthday with Yule. That's not true. I don't know any December babies who like the fact Christmas is in their birthday month. You lie, paragraph. December babies share that joyous nature that draws from the fairy of the Yule out of its slumber and into the festivities. The fairy of the Yule is one of the most ancient of the Fae. It only comes out during the holiday season. This jolly Fae favors those born in December and will typically do something extra for them on their birthday. I had a brother whose birthday was December 27th, and when he was 4, he pulled the Christmas tree down because he was so sick of it getting so much attention.
Yeah.
He was a brat like that his whole life. December born are encouraged to give the Fairy of Light a gift as they accept their own birthday gifts. And that's our gift to you. But I'm going to show you some gifts I got. I got this. Somebody wrote in one of our questions that came in if you write on my thing, this is in answer to your question. You want to know about creating a space. I have a fairy garden outside, and someone knew this. And when I was in the hospital, she made this or had this made for me. And it sticks in the ground, and it's like a little tree with a little nest with little shells coming off of it. And these are shells that I think she picked up off the ocean near where she lives. And this was a gift. So these are the sorts of things you can put in your fairy garden. You can make your own stuff. You can find things. It's a great thing to do. My little fairy garden. That's the other thing is they put this giant that grass that looks like a water fountain. That green grass. They put that in the pot where I had my fairy garden, and so I had to pull my two fairy garden houses up. One that says welcome and one that's the old woman in a shoe. I have the shoe. That's what I have out there for the fairies to be welcome here. But I talk about how you take care of elementals in your world, Dr. Gill.
How I take care of them? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
actually, I just do things for them. They come in and ask me to do work for them. That's how I handle them. I don't do little fairy things in my house because I rent and I've been moving a lot the past few years, so I haven't landed any place permanently. And but they come in and ask me to work with them. That's how I handle them.
Okay. Just be aware they love being acknowledged. They really do.
Oh, definitely.
Shifting veils, love and light. Other than the tag along that I sent back to Ireland, do I have any connections with local fae? Yeah, girl, you live on the edge of the ocean. You've got all kinds of fae around you, all sorts of water critters. So, yeah. You got anything to add, Dr. Gale? You're by the ocean. You're closer to water than I am.
Yeah, and of course, I had to deal with a negative elemental when I first moved here. It's the first place I moved in a house that I wasn't real happy about moving in this house, and I basically had a negative elemental mad at me because of that, and I had to honor the land to get him to accept me for being here. And actually, what he was doing, he wasn't doing things to me as much as he was messing with my dog. And she was horrified every night that something was going on. And I had to honor the land. I had to honor this area for this elemental before he would be okay with me being here.
That's right. We have one more question that came in on my post, and it's from Artistic. And you've got we read you September. September is the fairy of love. Remember that fairy love. So, and you can end up surrendering yourself and learning to love the whole world. Um,
But there is
anyway,
ways to bring the fairies in that I had learned, and I had started working with this about having like a mirror can represent water in your house, a candle can represent fire, and a plant I think was earth,
right, Earth.
and
Wind chime is wind.
wind chime was wind. So actually, I did do that when I was in Mount Shasta. So maybe that's what brought them in. So those are some real easy things for people to do, just inside your house, especially if you're in temporary housing, is to do that.
And and open the sunlight and let sunlight into your house. That will help with the bringing in the light. And I'm looking for questions. I'm not getting too many
Well,
questions.
Right Dragon's saying something about his sister. He's got a long thing there. I don't think it's a question. It might be a statement. And Lisa Davies looks like she might have something.
Okay. Well, somebody said they were a 28th birthday, and I read an article the other day about the four blessed birthdays in the month. The first one is the five, because fives are chaos or change, so they can become anything. If you're born on a five, there's that numerologic vibration. The other birthdays that are important are 11, which is a master number, 22, which is a master number, and then the number 28, and it's because it converts back to a one. So you can have either the power of the 28, or you can have the power of being part of the one. And
Christy
yeah.
started something here at one. Well, it's 124 for me.
Okay.
12:24. Is there anything they don't like that we should avoid? Which is a good question, Christy. Is there something that we are doing that we should avoid doing for the elementals? Mine was just not honoring the land, and I do honor the land wherever I go, and I just wasn't happy with this house and didn't do that here, and I had to have repercussions from that. So I corrected that, and will not forget that in the future.
Okay. I'm almost there. Oh,
And
we got another person griping about their December birthday. Can't help you with that.
Kat's got one at 126 also,
Okay.
or
Oops.
12.
Okay. Found white dragon. I've got two now. Oh, okay. Got a couple.
Oh, Maureen, my husband was born on 11/11, and you were born on 5/5. Woo!
Whoa. And somebody's working on a garden in their back, and I'm about to start doing questions, guys. Really.
Sherry, my daughter used to see fairies in her room. She's moved away to Scotland now. Would they have gone with her? I think the elementals stay with the land. I don't think they follow you.
The elementals are sort of tied to the land.
Now, I did
Okay.
have elementals, the ones that fly, they did follow me here from Mount Shasta to wherever I go. They do show up.
Well, when the ones that come down the ley line that go to Hogarth need to talk to somebody, they'll come and talk to me. April's, I'm going to do this because a person apparently didn't hear. April's fairy is the fairy of the storms, and that just means that you, much like the temperament of a storm, it comes and goes. So, um,
Maureen, Dr. Hill cracked me up last week telling me I was a troll in a past life. I don't remember that, Maureen, because I'm just channeling the information. I would have to go back and look at the show, but I kind of remember that. That is kind of funny that you were a troll.
and here's another person griping about her December birthday. I'd gripe about my December birthday. I really would.
Yeah, my sister has a December birthday and she gripes about it.
Oh, somebody has blinking fairy lights around their watering can
That's
instead of
what
water.
I have.
That's pretty.
That's
They'd
what
like that.
Yeah, that's what actually, anytime I see somebody who is connected to the fairies, that's what I see are those little white lights all around them and around whatever place that they have. And that's what they really like. They like them up in the air, they like them around the bottom. They really like the little lights.
Okay. Now I'm back to where I'm supposed to be. I think I'm all caught up. So always listen and honor the elementals in the land. Otherwise, they will be mischievous. They love candy and shiny, colorful things.
I used to take the fairies when I was in, as I said, Shasta, and first met them, I always took them a chocolate and put out for them whenever I'd see them. Because when I went down this trail, I could see them following me. I could see all uh, the weeds kind of folding down when they walked. And when I would sit down, I would just put out a little chocolate kiss for them.
Mm-hmm. There was the two ghost hunters that were from New England, and they were like Roto-Rooter men, and they would go in and they'd get rid of ghosts out of people's houses too. They did a show in Ireland, and they did it at Klepp Castle, which is one of the more haunted places. And that night, you could see fairy lights going across this field. It was really cool. My sister bought a house in Atlanta with some woods in the back. Looking looking, the elementals were something, oh, screaming for attention. In and between trees, they wanted colors. So I told her to give them some crystal candy. That would work.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you, and they want to be acknowledged. I tell you what, the one thing you can't do, don't ignore them.
No, no. Well, the first time I met the elementals, they woke me up in the middle of the night and said, "We are the elementals," to the top of their lungs. And I'm waking up, and then I went back to sleep thinking, gosh, that had to be a dream. No, they woke
No,
me up.
Dr. Gail called me the next day and she said, I don't think I like these elementals much.
They were so noisy. And those were the gnomes that woke
They
me up.
were little gnomes and they were riding on, weren't they riding on pea pods or
No, no, no.
something?
The gnomes were in the trees, and I had to go out and connect the communication system between the stars and the trees for them. There was an interruption in the ones off Alaska, and I can't remember the other ones that was in South America, but they had some communication problems that the stars connected to the roots of the trees. They are
Mhm.
land bound, and I'm in between. So they came and got me to go up to the stars and connect the trees. And that was the no, so they were the noisy ones. And they were the ones that when they told me that, I was going, oh, I can handle this. I'm going to call Nancy Jean. And you called the guy in South America. That's what he works on. Then found
South
out
Africa.
South Africa. And then found out he was on paternity leave, and I had to do it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Johan.
But the other ones that came to me ride fruits and vegetables, and they're little human looking, but they told me they were sprites, I think, is what they
Yeah.
said.
That can be sprites. We have so many different words for them. They all just see themselves they just see themselves as different species of the same energy.
Yeah.
So, okay. Lisa Davis, if time allows, I create an outside meditation fairy area to the side of my house. Do they come around it? And
Oh,
it
yeah.
goes, yes. They see you dealing with them with devotion. That's the name of this card.
Yeah.
And yes, they do. They think it's really important. And okay, and this is someone's been playing with my shower door when I brush my hair. I'm hoping that it's a fun loving fairy. I hope so too, kid. No, it probably is. If it's not, as long as you're not, I can tell you if it's a bad thing, you'll feel it. Your gut will tell you. This is,
I don't think that it was a fairy, but it was an elemental.
yeah, it's an elemental. And let's see. I had a fairy that visited me in dreams and calls herself Fantasia. That's nice.
Yeah.
And if they, that means she wants to become part of your reality. Okay. Yeah, if, okay, this is a bit of a thing. Elementals are great to work with. You can recruit them to do things with you, the crazy ones. I would put a violet flame on. Yeah, the violet flame will get rid of low and discordant energy. So if some of the low and discordant energy shown up in your world, and it's an elemental, the violet flame, that prayer, and you can find that at my website at Crystal Directions up in resources. There's a whole sheet with all the different for rooms, for your cars, for your body, all different kinds of ways to use violet flame. And my great grandmother used to leave a thimble of Irish whiskey on the windowsill for fairies and a piece of bread and jam and butter. That's true. And the other thing, the other thing, Celtic's part of Celtic fairy lore and how I get along with them is you always pour out some of the milk you get from your cows every day. Because if you don't, your cows will dry up.
Wow.
And I was talking to Jeffrey, who's in uh, Mexico, and in Mexico, the fairies are called Alusha, and um, their government rerouted a rail plan because the rail workers kept seeing Alushas in the trees, so they rerouted the rail line around, and that was an article in a mainstream newspaper in Mexico, and they take their things very seriously. And farmers there will strike a deal, and they'll come in and they'll work with the farmer to make their farm very productive for a few years. But they have to feed them. They have to put the milk out, and they have the same story. If you don't give them some of the milk, your cows will go dry.
Wow.
Let's see.
Trisha, you have a high maintenance elementals.
I'll see that. Somebody had one jump in her body and giggle and wanted to get up and dance, but I was in the middle of a conversation at the time. Yeah, you have to take control. You have to tell them.
I don't allow anything to jump on my body. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but that's where I draw the line. I would not be happy because I've already made deals with them that they can sit in my lap and whisper in my ear, but they can't come into my body. But a lot of people like that. So, how did you feel about Play Love Remember when it happened?
Uh, Obviously, she was trying to have her conversation. She was probably disturbed.
She says she danced in the street light.
Okay. Okay. Would a fairy garden be beneficial for my yard? Yeah. Anytime you can strike an agreement with the elementals, you're better off. And trust me, I'm going to do a story soon, but it's about a reading I did for someone, and they had bad elementals in their yard.
Wait a
And they,
minute. Well, I'm getting, I don't know why, but I'm getting a no for her.
really?
Yeah, and I don't know why. Because I've never had anybody who wouldn't benefit from a fairy garden.
Well, maybe she needs to understand the process of putting it together and how to let in good and bad, how to shield herself.
Okay, I think we'd have to go deeper into the reason why, because I
Yeah.
know why, Suzanne, but I'm getting a no, and I think you're the first person I've ever seen that's saying no to a fairy garden that would benefit your yard. I'm getting that,
Let me see if I can pull it out of my fairy deck, if I can pull a card out of
yeah,
mine.
but I'm getting the gnomes. I think she's needing to do something for the gnomes first. Do you have trees around your house? It's something to do with the trees, Suzanne.
Yeah, don't neglect your trees. Trees are very important.
I think you have to go to the trees first. I'm getting a big yeah.
Oh, something on her ground is a source of magic. So
Yeah,
you need to
look at
come to terms with it. I'm going to look real quickly. For those of you who are wondering, I'm using the Fairy Oracle deck. And this is a fun deck. It's it's a sassy tarot deck. What can I say? It says, magic is not for the fairies. That's why your ground is stronger sources of magic than you're right, Dr. Gail. She needs to work with the gnomes every time you inhale and exhale. You breathe in the energy from source, however you name it. And though your thoughts, visualizations, feelings, and words, everything in your thoughts can come into existence. Remember that when you focus on will grow into manifestation. Be careful where you put your attention. Like fairies, they can bring much joy and love into your heart, but it needs to be balanced against positive thoughts. And you need to be ready to transmute negative feelings into positive ones. That's why.
she says, Suzanne says, well, my grandsons love gnomes.
Okay, well, then let your grandsons go out and play with the gnomes. Gnomes won't hurt them.
Yeah.
They won't hurt kids. Okay. Do I have elementals protecting me?
Um, no, I no. Do elementals protect people? I'm getting no on that. Do they?
They well,
They protect the land, not the people. That's
they
what I'm getting.
protect the world around you. They can protect
Yeah.
the environment. But my experience with them is they want when I met with them and they wanted me to get through to. So we're going to talk about fire elementals for you.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, also, they're saying if you're on the land, they protect the land.
Right. We are not their focus.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, they have that downside if they get pissed. Like, where are my color cards, guys? Fire elemental I wake with happy anticipation at the beginning of each day. I retire each night with the anticipation for the next day. Nothing is too good to be true. My life desires are directed by divinity, so be it. Fairies are passionate about everything. And we could take a few. So they're passionate about moving things around, having things happen. They may make the environment around you feel better, like a better place to live, but they're not your soul guides.
Yeah, they're not really attached to humans as much as they are the land.
Land and plants and things like that. We've got That's one thing they kept telling me. We try to talk to people and they go, "Oh, you're my spirit guide." No, I'm not. "Oh, you're my dead grandmother." No, I'm not. "Oh, you're the what a data that's coming from, you're they really don't like being called ETs because they are from this planet. They're elemental to this planet. So
Now, we have ETs that have been here longer than humans on this planet.
that's true. They've been probably here longer than the elementals. And let's see.
Maureen's saying, now I understand.
Okay. And okay. White dragon. Fiery salamanders are a bit scary. Big tongues, flames, red glowing eyes. Some are huge. Hawaii is full of them. The goddess Pele told me once that she was one of them. Well, she would because she was from the source of fires, and that's the symbol for us in Tarot. Look at the King of Fire or the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands. They have salamanders all over their clothes in the traditional decks. Um, I ride a dragon. I have a dragon that comes to get me, but it's like Cecil is not my dragon. He's not like a giant pet. He's like a dragon, and when Cecil calls, you go. You know, and so dragons are kind of different, and there is not a culture that doesn't have a concept of a dragon creature, and most of them, if you look at how the word is said, even if you can't read it in the print, but if you listen to what they're saying something that's a drago. Every single culture does. It's one of those linguistic mysteries that I've heard linguists talk about. Yeah, let's see. Can you use those forest houses that don't have function? Yes, you can use a fairy house. They don't need doors. How the hell do you think they get in my house? They don't open the door.
No,
They,
they,
when I was in the hospital the last day and I was really kind of getting, am I ever going to get out of here? And I said, oh my God, I wonder, because they were telling me all my energy was shifting. And I said, I wonder if I've lost my connection with the fairies. And I looked up and my entire room was filled with fairy lights, little flickery things all over the place. And now I know there's those who say, well, that was probably from oxygen deprivation from when you almost died. But no, it wasn't. They were real fairy lights, and they were there to tell me they were going to be ready for me when I got home. Oh, they can do anything, Rossi. They like shiny stuff. They really like shiny stuff. But
as
whoever did that to you really wanted your attention. I hope you started to give them some of your attention.
so Rossi, you had a fairy remove an earring you were wearing and leave it in your path to pick up. It was shiny earring.
I have a jade bracelet that's really hard to get off. And I mean, it has a really hard clasp. And twice that happened to me. I was walking along and all of a sudden it just slipped off my arm. And
Oh, I gotta look up Play Love Remember. She says fairies can appear as lightning bugs too. I love lightning bugs.
I love lightning bugs. I would never trap them in jars. I thought that was mean. Let them be lightning bugs.
Yeah. Lightning bugs, I don't know if everybody knows what they are. They are in the South and they are things
They're
that
in the north.
are they?
We have them in Illinois. Yeah, I had them. I trapped them when I was out with my friends watching them trap them as a kid.
I don't remember visiting family or anything. Of course, it must have been the wrong time of year seeing lightning bugs up north. Probably the wrong time of year. Um, but anyway, lightning bugs. I don't know the people who might not know what they are. They're things that fly around and they look like green neon lights that they flash on and off their tails, their butts, or whatever.
Have
Flash.
you ever seen the river that has the lightning bugs in Vietnam? And when you go down, they all flash at once, so the whole shore lights. Oh yeah, it's wild. Okay, Dr. Gale, I it was suggested in a dream show that I add a little bit more to them as an energetic bridge that formed in my garden and other realms. And it was being closed down to nefarious things. It's open now. Good.
Good, good, Patricia. You can handle them.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, Jen, you're saying, yep, you have lightning bugs in Wisconsin.
Yeah, they have them in Canada. I've been to Canada. I've seen them there.
And I thought it was a southern thing.
Well,
Naive I am.
there
I
were. They may not have been in Mount Shasta because they can't get into the upper reaches. They can't get above certain altitudes, or they don't work.
okay, yeah, they were not in Mount Shasta.
Well, this person got jumped by a giant something. Lovely. Oh, I I find it hard to believe that Ascended Master jumped your body.
Yeah. I
But, I'm not questioning it. I mean, trust me, things that want to get in your body will lie about who they are. It's not just guys at the bar.
yeah.
Was that rude enough? Um, and her my nervous system would be fried for 2 weeks if something giant jumped in me.
Yeah. If anything got in you, I mean, especially for the
I
first time,
don't like them.
the first time,
Okay.
you're getting used to them.
I hope you are better and using all the med beds.
That's White Dragon talking to Patricia.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, if you put it in in bold, I think it's for us. Can you explain that, or is it worth worrying about?
He's just talking to Patricia. They have a conversation going.
Okay. Yes, we should also thank the elementals for helping us protect the land.
Yes.
Okay. And do I have fairies in my yard, and what can I do for them? I think you do, Barbara.
Yeah, I'm going to Sherry. She says they're called fireflies in Canada.
Okay, so we've solved the mystery of fireflies, and I know they have them in Vietnam because I've seen pictures of them lighting up on the riverbanks.
Okay, Barbara, do you have fairies? I've got, yes, you do. And what can you do for them? Honor them is what I just heard. Honor us, honor them.
Yes, and they're thinking of you.
And Barbara, I mean, I would just go out and give them something. Just
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have to be anything big. You can give them a rock, flower, anything, and that anything just to honor them. It really doesn't matter what it is. Something that's true to your heart.
It says if you just need to be aware of thinking about them, and that's enough. And there's no such thing as coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. You'll see synchronicities more and more as you work with them. Um, Created in the light, grounded in the stone, I ask synchronicity here to be shown. Call on the powers of timing and place to bring you into balance and grace. So let them know you're thinking about them when you go outside. Say, hi, guys. I know you're here. And then open your heart so that you know them. You just can't have us telling us you're there. You need to open your heart to them. And this is, I converted a mud room into a fairy haven. That's wonderful. Flying fairies, statues, a glittery painting of fairies, mushrooms and crystals. That's great.
Sounds like a great room, Teresa.
Perfect for moving from the outdoors into the inside. Okay. 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 White Dragon's running his own thing over here, so I'm getting confused. Okay. I have a small field behind my house For years, a deer family would visit. I have not seen them in a few years. I did not walk back there anymore. I get a bad feeling. Yeah,
So,
I think somebody put an end to the deer family.
so
I don't
there,
know where you live, Patricia, but there's been a lot of deer dying off from overpopulation and an illness that they've gotten. I know in the upper Midwest that they're in misery and they're having to shoot them because not for their food, but because they're in so much pain.
so she get a shaman to walk that land.
Yeah, if you know a shaman, you might check in your area. I just had someone who had great luck with a shaman and cleaning some stuff up. But, if you don't want to deal with the energy that's out there, Patricia, I would get a shaman or I'd put a couple stones out there acknowledging the family that you used to see.
Yeah, yeah, that might be just all. Oh, I'm getting a yes on this. You need to go out there, Patricia, like I had to. You have to go acknowledge them. Put some gifts out there for them. Put some stones, and I'm getting this huge yes on this.
Hmm.
You have not made friends with them. Oh gosh, I'm getting a big yes on this. You have not made friends with them. Go out and make friends.
With the ground that's there. I'm not sure the family's available anymore.
Hey, Danny. Yes, you're right on time. Danny say, "Am I late?"
Yes, you're on Danny time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking for questions.
As,
Somebody, okay. Way to go, Rossi. They love playful elementals. Somebody was just saying they pulled one in and they'd seen it just right away. You'll see them out of the corner of your eye. And in my office, I'll be sitting in my where I watch the TV and I'll see them running back and forth across where the kitchen door is.
Diana Bowles says, "I just wonder if she's late too."
You're late. Yeah, because we
We have
went on Dr. Gail's time. It's a long time. Let's see. Yeah, they do. They come and they just go. A lot of lightning bugs around my house. We've got a lot of lightning bug stories. Fireflies in Canada. Let's
White
see.
dragons asking if there are elementals on other planets, or is that an Earth thing? That's a good question.
They're an Earth thing.
Well,
They're Earth.
I'm getting the elementals are on other planets too, but it doesn't. It's not the same as Earth elementals. It's just
No, they're that planet's elementals.
right.
Okay, Dr. Gail, what kind of well, if you're in South Florida, you've got mosquito elementals that are big enough to carry you off. You've got water. No, you've got a lot of water.
Rossi's got a lot of mermaids.
Yeah, a lot of them are in the water. And they are studying fireflies to figure out how they glow.
And
Okay,
so,
Linda, I would say if you're in your yard working and you're working with the land, there's fairies around you. And if if you don't know what the Findhorn Foundation is, but Findhorn was a place in Scotland where these people lost their job at a hotel and this farmer felt badly for them. So he let them move their trailer onto his this little spit of land and it's on the North Sea. I mean, trust things don't grow easy. North Sea's not like Texas where you put something in the soil it grows. And the two women up there that were part of it was his wife and a friend of theirs and their son or daughter and the guy that found it. Anyway, the women started getting messages on how to plant plants, what to put in the soil there. And so they started planting it and they ended up growing award winning sized cabbages and stuff. They ended up having a whole green farm. And then eventually they grew and they're part of the UN. There's a thing called the Findhorn Foundation out of the UN. I've done a story on the Findhorn Foundation. In every one of the US states, I think there's a person who's been to Findhorn who will explain it to you. But it's actually talking to the fairies, the elementals, the whatever they call themselves wherever you are, and how to work with your land. So they're there. White Dragon's finally taking his things out of caps, so I won't think. Yes, Danny, yes, you're late.
And Diana Bulls is right behind them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the woman who said the deers disappeared, they have a wasting disease. It's very sad. And let's see, I'm trying to see if
And
there's
I've got one last question.
okay, we're gonna do one. We got time for one last question. Well, we've already done are they on other planets? Took that question, Dr. Gill. Okay, we talked about this one. My videos are a great distraction to the ills of the world, and I am going to be doing a lot more. Thursday, I'm going back to this deck, which is inner child cards that are all based on fairy tales. And I pulled one, and the one I'm going to be talking about is Aladdin's Lamp. So that's going to be Thursday, and that will be at my normal time. So Danny can get here on time because it's going to be at 1 o'clock. And yay, Alberta. Yeah, I know there are fairies up in Canada because that's where my family came from. Yes, you can see flashes of them in lightning. Oh, there are all kinds of stories about elementals being in different areas. And in New England, there's a swamp that's in Massachusetts is known for having them, and they're called pudwudgies. I think that's a great name. Oh, and someone wants us to pray for her husband, who and that their move will go well August 1st. It will, Marie.
All right, and it's you want to go out. There's somebody who wants to know what your channel name is. You want to go out with
It's
that one?
Nancy Jean's Garden. Nancy Jean's Garden. And you can go over and join and connect, and you will get a message about everything I do and about all of the sorts of shows I have. And you'll get to hear about how I almost died last month. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Um, Dragons are elementals, yes. And, what's my channel? Okay, Pudwudgies, love it. And we're going to end with Pudwudgies. That's the last. I've got a. I'm going to pull one more card for everybody out of the fairies deck. Real quick. We got Fairy Blue.
That's
And
pretty.
she's a pretty fairy. And see what her deal is. And Fairy Blue offers up the message of love and peace. She demonstrates the need for quiet within our daily lives. She shows us through calmness to realize we have connection to spirit. The connection is always with us. Concentrate on the cobalt blue and feel that it will move into your inner body. And it's I'm united with the spirit of all creation. I am divine, peace of the whole. Infinite love surrounds me, runs through me, flows all through all that is. Infinite love enfolds me, and I am safe. So be it. Wear something blue today, or if there's a day when you want to get connected to your higher self, wear something blue. And that's sort of a sign, so it'll know. What you got, Dr. Gail?
Oh, you want me to pull a card? I don't have
You
anything.
don't, okay, Dr. Gail has nothing, so we'll end.
I
This
don't
whole this
have
whole show has been a like we We kidnapped each other's silly.
Yes, we're flying by the seat of our pants here.
But do come see me Thursday at 1 o'clock when I'm talking about Aladdin's lamp, which in this deck, that is the card that's the magician, and it's all about how we find our own way to spirit. So come
I
join
can,
me for that.
yeah, I can just say for the people who don't know what I do, maybe I'll talk
Okay.
that my channel is Dr. Gail-Skywalking with Moon, and I'm a nurse and a chiropractor, and I'm connected to the aliens or the galactic beings. I have created a YouTube channel that is a safe place for us to come together and talk about our extraterrestrial experiences. I also do some healings and color therapy and other things on there, but that's basically what my channel's about. And I'll be on tomorrow with Val from Dragonfly Crystals, and we'll be having a galactic conversation tomorrow, and that'll be 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, Dr. Gale talks about I don't get in spacesuits or spaceships. I'm I have been told that my problem is I refuse to ascend and quit leave humanity. I love humanity too much. I'm too curious about what we're up to down here. So everybody, you have a lovely day. Look for peace and joy in everything you can, and go say hi to your yard.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, everybody.